he be most remembered for in the culture world?
Well, just like his predecessor, François Mitterrand, Jacques Chirac really wanted people to remember him for culture as much as for his, political legacy. And there is the Quai Branly Museum, Jacques Chirac, which bears his name. It is a huge mark on the cultural landscape, about 1.2 million visitors a year. It's a beautiful building on the River Seine by Jean Nouvel, the French architect. Now, he founded it in 2006 to celebrate non-European cultures. Now, inside there are 1.2 million objects. It's huge, and this is ranging from all sorts of things: textiles, sculptures, paintings, musical instruments, and this is art from around the world. You've got art from Africa, of course, Asia, Oceania, the Americas. Now, at its opening in 2006, Jacques Chirac said that the time that Western art was, considered superior to the rest of the world, well, that time was over with the creation of this museum. And it's interesting because Jacques Chirac was behind the idea of France 24, our own channel, and that was a way to bring France to the rest of the world. Well, this museum is a way to bring the rest of the world to France.
And since Friday, one day after we learned that Chirac had died, the museum has actually been free.
And access will be open, free until October 11th. Now, visitors will be able to see an exhibit that actually was opened just this month. It's called 20 Years of Collection Enrichment, and there you can discover the story behind the museum and how this vast collection came to be. There are currently 500 works on show. Now, since the news of his passing, nearly 38,000 people have already visited the museum, including about 20,000 just on Sunday. And for many people, it was a way to pay tribute to the former French president. Take a listen.
I'm here to pay tribute to Mr. Jacques Chirac. I'm a little emotional. He was a statesman who refused to go to war, who acknowledged our involvement in the horrors of the past, who was in love with all civilizations.
I've just realized there are so many works and things to rediscover. I have come to remember the president.
Now, many people here in France associate the Quai Branly Museum with Jacques Chirac, but it wasn't his only cultural project.
That's right. Now, we've been talking a lot about the fact that in 2002, he beat Jean-Marie Le Pen in the second round of the presidential election. And soon after that came about an idea for a history of immigration museum here in Paris. He was also behind an idea of an outpost of the Louvre in Lens. And both of those museums were inaugurated by President Hollande, so many years later. Now, he was also behind, one of the initiators of the Islamic arts wing at the Paris Louvre Museum, as well as the Louvre Abu Dhabi that opened 2 years ago. You can see images there. Now, to talk more about his cultural legacy, why don't we listen to the former culture minister. This is Renaud Dondieu de Vabre.
President Jacques Chirac, apart from the financing of the project, was very proud of this museum because it was completely in line with his philosophy. For our country, international affairs and cultural affairs should be aligned.